Welcome to the Strength Lab podcast. I am your host, Tyler Ramsey. Welcome back for another episode. Just me today, but I want to talk about the sponsors first. We have Titan Nutrition, awesome premium supplements from whey protein, mass gainers, vitamins, pre-workouts, post-workouts, everything. Everything to cover your bases, get stronger, get healthier, have better endurance. Check out Titan Nutrition. Link will be in the description. Use code Ramsey Strength at checkout for 20% off. If you order $99 more, free shipping. Also, check out Cerberus Strength USA for elbow sleeve, wrist straps, knee sleeves, belts. They have also awesome strongman implements. They have sandbags. They have different barbells, anything like that. Use Ramsey 10 for 10% off. And they have grip shirts, apparel, that kind of thing. Use Ramsey 10 for 10% off your order at checkout. Also, I have a new partnership. Can't talk about it or who it is yet. Got to confirm a couple more things. But this is going to be a huge step for people interested in improving their health and strength. There's two different sides, a male side, female side. But partnering with them is going to really help all of you become stronger, healthier, and just live a better overall lifestyle. So that's a huge, huge partnership. I can't wait to talk about. But today we're going to talk about GPP, General Physical Preparedness. There's also SPP, which is more specific to a sport or something like that. This is just the main base, the main foundation for your athletic or strength training. So GPP is what we're going to talk about. Like I said, it is the base, it is the foundation before you really work on maximal strength or work capacity, which we have a podcast on already. So go ahead and check that out at the Strength Lab podcast here on YouTube. So what is GPP? It is a non-specific training modality style kind of aimed to building a solid base. So then your strength and your fitness can go up around that base. If you have a small base, it's not going to be very tall. So the foundation to go up and be stronger. This is going to improve and come before your work capacity, which we have a podcast on that. You can check that out. This is going to help you enhance your recovery with blood flow, body weight movements, and just work on endurance, cardiovascular health. This is going to strengthen your joints, ligaments, and prevent injuries. On another little side topic to that, you can still do strength training, all these things, and you can still get injured. But if you're strong and you focus on these movement patterns, there's a less chance you will get hurt in the future. So not everything you're going to do is injury prevention, but you can help strengthen those areas to better serve you and be stronger. So this phase, GPP, is going to help prepare you for hard and heavy training later in your fitness, in your strength training progression, or your sport. You can kind of think this is as like your armor, body armor building, or like you're building your engine to get strong and just keep going and going and going. This is going to be before your sport-specific or your maximal effort work. So how do you do GPP? Well, there's multiple methods or exercises that you can kind of throw in for GPP. The main things that might come to mind is if you heard of Westside Barbell, they use a lot of sled work. This doesn't beat up your joints, super easy to use, push, pulls, that kind of thing. So sled work is the first exercise thrown into GPP. You can do forward, backward sled drags, pushes. You can do sprints. This really builds good loading mechanics between like your ankles, your knees, your hips, to your shoulder, to your arm, without beating up your joints like heavy squats would or anything like that. So you're building your leg strength. You're building that cardiovascular endurance before you go into heavy squats, deadlifts, that kind of thing. The second exercise would be carries. This is our farmer carries, sandbag carries, yoke carries, anything that you are carrying. This is going to carry over to everyday life. You carry the groceries, you carry your kids. Reason we do carries is because it helps teach core bracing and just works your core in general, your grip, and it helps with your stamina. Usually you can do these for heavy, short rounds or lighter, longer rounds. Great way to just have general strength. Next, we're going to talk about body weight conditioning. So anything body weight, not barbells, dumbbells. So you got push-ups, pull-ups, air squats, lunges, and the dreaded burpees. These are just your basic movement patterns. You need to master these before you get into anything crazy, stupid, heavy. The basics are the best. And these can be pushed for multiple sets of reps or time. So you're only going to test that muscular endurance. The fourth thing that I do the most, strongman circuits. So these, can combine 3 to 4 events, almost like a tri-set or a quad set or a giant set. So these could be keg carries, sandbag carries, tire flips, anything like that. But it's great for total body GPP, and it's fun. It's not like your basic get on the treadmill and walk for 20 minutes. You do a circuit of strongman, you're going to get your heart rate up like you're going for a run or walking, and it's not just that same boring thing. Next is like lower impact conditioning, like bike, rower, the ski, incline treadmill walks, super helpful. Rucking with a weighted vest or weighted sack or backpack or something like that. This is going to help build your aerobic base, which is with oxygen. This is going to help with recovery, blood flow. Next, we have jumping and throwing. A lot of people don't jump or don't do the throws, and they're missing out on a lot of explosive power and just overall conditioning with that kind of thing. Most people try to get what you get out of the Olympic lifts, you can get from jumping in different kind of jumps, weighted jumps, that kind of thing. This is going to really condition your joints for any type of sport you do, football, basketball, track, that you're jumping a lot or you're getting triple extension, and it's just going to work on your overall explosiveness. So kind of like a sample GPP circuit, you could repeat this 3 rounds, but something like a 40-yard sled drag, moderately heavy, and heavy is relative. Start light. You want to get a little burn. You want to kind of be out of breath, but easy to recover. So a sled drag, you can start light first week, slowly add progressive overload. And then right after that, you go into a 60-second farmer carry. This could be with dumbbells, the farmer carry handles, a trap bar, anything that you can do two hands at the same time. Then you could go into 15 push-ups or 10 push-ups, however many push-ups you can do. You're going to try to do this for the 3 rounds. So hitting the number of push-ups that you want to hit every single round. And then you could go to med ball slams. And this is not just picking it up and then just kind of dropping it. You're trying to be explosive. You're getting it above your head. You're getting triple extension through your knees, your ankles, your hips, all the way up through your shoulder, and then you're slamming that ball as hard as you can. And then you could end that circuit with a 30-second air bike sprint or a hill sprint, or you could do a sled sprint with a lighter weight that you did on your push or on your drag. So why do we do GPP? There's multiple reasons. It prepares you for intense training down in your phases before you do a strength block or something like that. The more volume you can handle now, you will be able to handle later without breaking down later in your progression. It's going to improve your recovery, so your aerobic capacity is going to be faster in between your sets and your sessions. So you can use GPP as your cardio day during the week in between heavy lifting, if you want. You're going to reduce injury risk, so you're going to have stronger connective tissue balance. You're going to have more of a balanced movement, and that's going to really help your longevity. It's going to fix weaker links. So if you struggle with grip or being explosive, you can add these in to your recovery day or your off day to really bring up those weak links. And that's what GPP helps find those stabilizers and those undertrained muscles. Excuse me. When you do higher rep circuits or time-based circuits, they can be pretty challenging towards the end of those sets. So this GPP is going to help kind of build mental toughness as you start adding more weight and getting into more deadlifts, squats, things where you need to kind of push through. This mental toughness is really going to be helpful. And I see that in powerlifting and strongman, a lot of these guys know that they're going to lift the weight. It's just how many times. So it's that mindset and that mental toughness is super essential for the strength sports. So I'll kind of go over like a 2-week training program you can kind of follow. And this is not based off a certain sport or strongman or anything like that. This is just, you can do this. You can go into your gym today and do this. Your GPP phase is going to be like your first phase. So let's kind of talk about general strength. These are going to involve carry, sled, body weight, bands, and low impact conditioning. So day 1, you got a loaded carry, farmer carry, 4 sets of 40 yards. This is going to be pretty moderately heavy, and you're going to rest 60 to 90 seconds in between each of these carries. Keep the weight the same the whole time and see if you can make it the whole 160 yards with throughout the 4 sets that you do. And then you're going to go into a sandbag bear hug. I prefer that you put this on like a box where it's at chest height, so you can just go up there and bear hug it, get your breathing down, and then carry that 3 sets of 50 feet. And then we're going to go into a body weight, core and arms kind of exercise, the plank with shoulder tap. So you're going to maintain a good posture in your body. You're going to not rotate in your hips. You're going to keep that core nice and tight, and you're going to tap the shoulder the opposite shoulder as you maintain good, rigid body form. And then you're going to do a med ball slam, 3 sets of 10, being super explosive, super powerful, triple extension, and really being explosive as you slam that ball. You can picture someone's face on the ground and you just smash that bitch right in the face. And then we'll end that circuit with an air bike sprint, 3 sets of 30 seconds, hard effort, and then rest 30 to 60 seconds and do that. And that would be, you'd repeat that, the number of sets that we prescribe, and that would be your workout for the day. Kind of a sleds and body weight circuit. You could do a sled push super heavy. You're only going 10, 20 yards, 6 sets, all out, big, powerful steps, trying to get your ankle, your knee, and your hip all in a straight line on those powerful steps. You're extending through the hip, through the glutes, being powerful. And that's where you're going to get a lot of sport-specific training in, because that's going to really help carry over to your sport. If you're doing, if you're on the line and you're pushing somebody, you're going to be in that low position, and you're going to be trying to drive that person away from the quarterback. It could be like baseball if you're like a pitcher or you're like planting to run. That quick movement and that planting and that drive is where you're going to really get that. And then we're going to go to push-ups. I would do this if you're good at push-ups, 3 sets of max reps, and go until your form really breaks down. Don't go until you're doing some shitty-ass push-ups. Go until your form breaks down, and then you stop there. And you kind of remember what number you get. Usually you're going to hit your best set is going to be the first set, and then they're going to, you'll get 20 the first set, maybe 16, and then 12. Record those next week. If you do the same circuit, try to go 22 push-ups, and then your second set you're trying to get 2 or 3 more than you did last time on your second set, and then that's going to really show you progression and how you're improving on your push-ups. Then we got body weight lunges, 3 sets of 20 steps. You could split that up to 10 on each leg. Make sure you're doing good form, good balance. Then you could do a TRX row or a band pull apart. Anything that's just going to get blood flow and reinforce good form, good scapular retraction, and just work on posture. And then you have a rower or a treadmill walk for a 10-minute moderate pace. Workout done. Then we have a core and conditioning day. This is a little bit different. You have a sandbag load to a platform, something that is going to be about chest height. So you have to really extend and triple extend and set it on top. Moderate weight, 4 sets of 3 reps. Taking 10-15 seconds between every rep, making sure they're perfect would be good for that. Then we got a side plank, just holding for 10-15 seconds, really keeping that hip up nice and high, really flexing and focusing on keeping that oblique nice and high. And then we could go to a box jump or step up, but make sure that step up is super, super controlled. This is going to be based on your skill level. The box jump doesn't have to be super high. I want you to shoot for 5 to 8 reps. So it doesn't have to be like a 55-inch box and you're really, really trying to overreach yourself. Just be powerful, be explosive, land on the middle of the box. And these are like jump up, step down, reset, use your arms, be explosive, full triple extension, right on top, bang. And then we could go to a kettlebell swing. This works good, posterior chain. It's going to carry over to a lot of sports, just a general good strength movement. And then a sled drag, very light. And you're going to do a continuous, like 150 yard drag. Good for quads, good for knees, strengthen your knees, stuff like that. And then here's kind of a circuit that I would do. This is 3 to 4 rounds, keeping the reps super quality and not focus on like trying to get it done super fast or based on the time. So you have a 30-second farmer's walk. Weight doesn't have to be super heavy. You want to make sure you're carrying that for the whole 30 seconds. And then 15 sandbag squats. I prefer to do the sandbag in front of me on the chest and really maintain my breathing and good posture. Kind of sucks, but some people might want to put it on their shoulder, but make sure you alternate shoulders because you're going to be working opposite core engagement. You don't want to have one side doing all the work through that workout. And then it could be a good solid set of push-ups, mid-ball presses, and then air bike sprints, 15-20 seconds, and then a nice recovery, and then rest a full 90 seconds between those rounds. So there's lots of ways to pick and choose kind of what you do based on your sport, what you have time for, what your gym has. If you have any questions about what to do, go ahead and fill out the Google form in the description. You can get on a Zoom or just a FaceTime call with me, and we can kind of get you on a good program, focusing on GPP first and then work capacity, and then we'll focus on your strength after that. But kind of an overview of how GPP can really help people just starting out or getting ready to go into a good strength phase. I think a lot of these things people really miss or don't really think that help. So I think a lot of athletes in the off season or even in season could incorporate these things to get stronger and help them recover. You just want to make sure you're focusing on your form and your movement quality. It's not just about the intensity. The intensity is really going to come from the strength training that you're going to do after this. It's okay to rotate in different implements. So you could do a keg, you could do a sandbag, you could do a stone for the same thing. You could do a trap bar, you could do farmer carry dumbbells. It's going to keep the people engaged and wanting to come back like, oh, what are we doing this week? Oh, we have a little bit different. Oh, we're going to learn something new. You kind of want to check your heart rate and, kind of see how hard this is for you. You want to kind of stay in the moderate to hard effort, but you don't want to totally max yourself out. Especially if you're in season, you don't want to be gassed for your sport. This is supposed to help you be stronger, be more endurance, and actually be ready for your sport that you're going to be doing in the season. So thanks for listening to me rant about GPP. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot a comment. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Ramsey_strength coach. I'd love to help you out. Be sure to check out the sponsors, Titan Nutrition, Cerberus Strength USA, and then the third one will be coming soon to you. Really going to help you out here. So be sure to subscribe, like, share this. If you need help, reach out to me. Love to help. See ya.